What's up, good people? Marco's here. As always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great day. I am so happy. I can't explain how much I have missed the red brick house. Getting back, the grass needs to be cut. The plants and stuff have grown. Everything looks a little bit different than it did when I left. And I'm glad that I got away for a few days, and I'm even happier that I'm back and getting back to business as always, because we are 35 days away from the season, and my deck at home, I got to get it fixed. I've got to repair it. Get it fixed. I got to fix it before the season goes. It's been, it's gotten old. It's gotten old. It's got to be, deck board's got to be replaced, and some stuff needs to be done on it. And like I've been working on this red brick house, I got to work on my home as well. And so today, Terry McLaurin allegedly, now we don't know, I can't guarantee that he requested a trade because that's what the talking heads have said. So I'm going to say that is a way to get the Redskins, excuse me, the Commanders to either shit or get off the toilet. The players don't have a lot of recourse on what they can do. You can be a distraction. You can hold in, but you notice how everybody's holding in right now, but ain't nobody gotten a new contract. Trey Hendrickson, he's in there. He's holding in. Of course, Scary Terry says, you know what, trade me. I'm just done. Because he sees the writing on the wall that his argument of saying, I should be at 30 million plus, when the Commanders look and say, yeah, but Courtney Sutton has got about the same kind of numbers, the same age, you're getting kind of old. We're not going to do that. So they're at an impasse. So he says, hey, just trade me. I'm done with you guys. I was here when you guys were ass, when you didn't have a good quarterback and stuff. I was the franchise. And now this is where you guys can pay me back. Now, of course, it's a new regime, and they look at it and say, hey, we didn't draft you and stuff. That wasn't our mess to take care of. So we'll see if he actually gets traded. The reality is he can demand all he wants, but he can't get jack unless the team looks at it and says, here's the best interest for us to make a trade. So my question here is it possible? Is it conceivable? Is it even likely that Micah Parsons gets fed up enough that he does the same thing and says, you know what, you don't see my value, that's fine. And he's kind of in a way said that no bad feelings here. No bad feelings here. If you don't see my value, well, I'll work harder, but somebody else will see his value. And I watched another clip of Stephen Jones, and Stephen Jones got the biggest grin right now, on his face and such. Doesn't seem to be bothering him or making him worried at all. I hope it doesn't come to that, but understand this. Right now, the Cowboys are at the halfway point of Oxnard. Halfway point is done. Half of all the practices that the Cowboys do in training camp are done. And Micah Parsons, he ain't part of it. This is stupid. If there's good news out here is, like we reported earlier in the week, that Simon Ravel wasn't working with trainers. He was actually out doing some of the individual drills. And we can say the same thing for Diggs right now. That Diggs is actually out here beginning the process of doing drills. That's a great thing because that means he's getting closer and closer to being able to return to practice. which maybe means that maybe, just maybe, 35 days from today, that he's able to actually play against the Eagles. I hope that's the case. I really and truly do. I'd love to be able to say we've got some depth at cornerback, as opposed to we're losing guys left and right on the offensive line. The good news on Tyler Smith was he had soreness, and that's why he left / tendonitis, but it's not thought to be anything serious, so he's okay. And Big Nate, Dak Prescott talked about rehabbing with Big Nate and how good he thought Big Nate was going to be, and he just didn't think that Big Nate might just have to start for him. So I bet he's hoping that he was right about Big Nate at left tackle. But as an insurance policy, Lyle Collins, who was at Zach Martin's retirement ceremony, who didn't look like he was in bad shape, is coming in tomorrow for a workout. And if he is in any kind of shape, I can guarantee you the Cowboys will definitely sign him. The familiarity with the team will be cheap, and he has played left tackle in starting games. Just hasn't played any since 23. And the last couple of years he played were kind of injury-filled, as we all know. So those are the major things that are going on with the Cowboys and stuff today. Dak Prescott, oh my God. Dak and his receivers. Here's what's kind of obvious, okay? Let's say this is obvious, that George Pickens is an incredible receiver. CeeDee Lamb is an incredible receiver. Putting those two guys together makes a big problem for defensive coordinators. As CD put it, I think it was yesterday, if I got two people on me, that means there's one on George. You go to George. If there's two on George, that means there's one on me. You go to me. And if you have three guys to cover those two, then that means there's somebody on the other side that doesn't have somebody to cover. Like Jake Ferguson. Or, as we've been seeing in practice here, how good everybody's looking. You're seeing Jalen Tolbert make plays, you're seeing Jonathan Mingo make plays, you're seeing Kayvon Turpin making plays, and there's a reason why that's happening. Because George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb are taking the top off the defense. They are going to command so much respect that it's going to be difficult to put 8 men in the box. It's going to be difficult to take care of covering those two guys and covering others. And I can guarantee you that we will do some 5 wideouts just to screw people over. Because if you can get Jalen Tolbert out there and Jonathan Mingo out there, and you got Jake Ferguson with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, somebody's going to be open. And because those guys are open, as Brian Schottenheimer said, you run it up their ass. You got to cover all those guys. You can't put them all in the middle. You can't cover the whole field. And I look forward to actually seeing this offense go to work. With CeeDee Lamb, I talked earlier about it, but I can't reiterate how much that Brian Schottenheimer has brought to this team. With excitement, with pre-snap motion, getting the players excited, and at the same time, bringing in discipline and accountability. The culture on the field with the players and the coaches has changed. I wish I could say the same about the front office and Jerry and Stephen Jones, but I can't. They've made some good moves. Jake Ferguson's deal, great deal. Osundigazuma's deal, great deal. The shit they're doing with Micah, unfortunately, that's all you remember, is the shit that you messed up. So, I know they're going to get it worked out. I know that Micah's not going to demand a trade. It's still ridiculous. But that's what it's like to be a Cowboy fan. Alrighty, good people. Trey Lance did not look bad tonight. Kyle Allen sure did. And I guess we can talk about that a little bit tomorrow. But happy to be back home, get back on my shed tomorrow and working on these rental properties and stuff. And as always, I appreciate you guys. And remember, I was talking to Momo earlier, who is having a hard time losing his sister after he had lost his brother a few months ago. And life goes by so fast. I can't believe in a couple of months I turned 60. And I don't know where the time went. Some people you love them. And I love you guys. And God willing, I'm going to get mine, and so will Micah.